Just when it looked like things were calming down and Durk's lawyers were getting ready to file a motion to dismiss something big, just dropped over 230 GB of raw video and audio files have been found, and some of them reportedly show Durk being involved in a second murder-for-hire plot. If this new case is real and holds up in court, Durk could go from facing life in prison to possibly getting the death penalty. It's so serious now that even working with the feds might not be enough to save him.
I feel like even if he snitch, he can't get up out of it. If they got him like that, I feel like even if he tell right now, he can't.
What kind of secrets are hiding in these new revelations? Is the evidence actually real? And here's the biggest question. Could Lil Durk really be facing the electric chair soon? Let's break it all down. We're talking about some shocking murder. Allegations coming straight out of Chicago. If you haven't been following the drama, here's the scoop. Lil Durk, whose real name is Durk Derek Banks, was arrested back in October 2024 in Florida. He's facing some serious federal charges tied to an alleged murder-for-hire plot targeting Quando Rondo. But things got even crazier during a detention hearing on December 12, 2024. Prosecutors dropped a bomb. They linked Durk to a second murder-for-hire plot, this one in Chicago. That case involves the January 27th, 2022 murder of Stefan Mack, a 24-year-old who was allegedly a high-ranking member of the Smashville set of the Gangster Disciples. Mack was gunned down right outside the Youth Peace Center in Roseland on 111th Street, a place that's supposed to be a safe zone in a violent neighborhood. He was shot in the head and chest and later died at the hospital. A 40-year-old security guard was also shot in the leg but survived. Two men from Chicago, Anthony Montgomery Wilson, 24, and Preston Powell, 23, were arrested in 2023 for Mack's murder. They were charged with conspiracy and accused of killing Mack for money, but the big mystery remained: who paid for the hit? According to recently unsealed federal documents, prosecutors believe the money trail leads back to Durk. So what would be the reason behind this alleged hit? Federal agents think it was revenge. They claim Durk ordered the killing as payback for the murder of his brother Dante Banks, also known as DT Thang, who was 32, was shot and killed outside Club O in Harvey, Illinois early in the morning on June 5, 2021. It was a wild scene. Multiple shooters opened fire, and even a Harvey police officer got hurt during a separate fight. The key evidence comes from a warrant filed in April 2023, but kept sealed until December 11, 2024, just one day before Durk's detention hearing for the LA case. In that warrant, FBI agents claim that after D. Thang's death, Durk started offering money to anyone willing to kill the people responsible. More specifically, he allegedly offered cash for every gangster disciple killed. The FBI believes the Smashville crew was behind D. Thang's death, and since Mack was reportedly running with them, they think Durk targeted him as part of the retaliation. The unsealed warrant, backed by FBI Special Agent Thomas Callahan, accuses Durk of funding or organizing Mack's murder as revenge, basically putting a price on the heads of GD members. What makes this even more intense is the kind of evidence the feds say they have. They've reportedly linked Durk to the shooters Montgomery Wilson and Powell through text messages about money tips from informants and street sources, phone records connecting them, and even some social media activity. One of the most talked about posts in this case is a message asking, "Did Durk give you that money?" Prosecutors believe this is a clear sign that a payment was made for the hit. They've also pointed to lyrics from Durk's 2022 song, Ah, Che, which dropped on February 22nd, 2022. In the song, Durk says, "My brother D-Thang just got killed and I've been slow since gang, but we got back on they ass. I bet they know this." Federal prosecutors say this could be Durk admitting to getting revenge for D-Thang's murder, possibly referring to the killing of Stefan Mack. Using rap lyrics as evidence has stirred a lot of debate, especially since it's also happening in Durk's LA case. Many in the culture worry that lyrics are being taken out of context and unfairly used against artists in court. On top of that, the FBI says they have photos showing Durk with Anthony Montgomery Wilson, one of the men charged in Mack's murder. This, they claim, helps prove Durk was directly connected to one of the alleged shooters. But the exact details of those photos haven't been fully released to the public yet. Now it's important to know that as of April 27th, 2025, Durk has not been officially charged in connection to Mack's. According to the Tribune and other sources, the investigation is still ongoing, but no formal charges have been filed. This shows that prosecutors are likely bringing up these claims to make Durk look worse in his LA case, not because they're ready to prosecute him for the Chicago hit. Durk's lawyer, Jonathan Brayman, made that clear in court back in December 2024. He told the judge, "That's other people. Our client has nothing to do with that." He emphasized that Durk has not been charged in the Chicago case and argued that these unproven claims are just being used to sway the court in the LA case. Still, the accusations have already hurt Durk. During the December 12, 2024 detention hearing in Los Angeles, Assistant U. S. Attorney Ian Yaniello used the Chicago allegations along with the supposed bounty claims to argue that Durk is dangerous. Judge Patricia Donahue agreed, denying Durk's request for a $3 million bond, which means he's staying locked up while he waits for trial. The way the Chicago allegations are being used in the LA case has raised eyebrows among legal experts. They're questioning whether it's fair to bring up uncharged crimes in a completely separate case. Legal analysts say these kinds of claims, though unproven, and seriously affect how a judge sees a defendant. If the investigation into Mac's murder leads to actual charges, Durk's legal troubles could get a whole lot worse. But beyond the courtroom drama, this case also shows the bigger issue of gang violence in Chicago. Gangster Disciples, one of the city's largest and most dangerous gangs, have been tied to countless shootings across the South Side, with different sets like Smashville operating in various neighborhoods. There's constant tension both inside and outside the gang. In fact, the murder of Mac Wright outside a youth peace center is a heartbreaking reminder of how deeply this violence runs. Places meant to protect young people are still being touched by the chaos, and all these allegations against Durk raise a lot of questions, not just about him but about the whole system and what justice really looks like in these kinds of cases. There are growing questions about the thin line between Lil Durk's rap career and his alleged gang ties. Prosecutors are even claiming that his music label, Only the Family, OTF, operates like a criminal organization, not just a business. What makes Chicago allegations so important is that they could show a pattern. If Durk really did set up the hit on Stefan Mac in January 2022 as revenge for his brother D-Thang's death, then it adds weight to the prosecutor's claim that he later ordered hit on Quando Rondo in August 2022, this time as revenge for King Von's death. But let's be clear, Durk hasn't been charged in the Mac case, and like anyone accused of a crime, he's presumed innocent until proven guilty. A lot of the evidence that prosecutors are using is circumstantial based on things like social media posts, informants, and lyrics, not solid direct proof. And details like the content of texts or how reliable the informants are haven't been made public yet. One of the most controversial parts of this case is how the government is using Durk's lyrics as evidence. Critics say that rap lyrics are often fictional or exaggerated, and taking them literally misunderstands what hip-hop is about, especially in drill music where violent imagery is part of the art, not necessarily a confession. This debate is now front and center in Durk's legal battles. To really understand how things got to this point, we need to go back to where it all started, the first murder for hire case in Los Angeles, and a major legal move that could change everything. Durk's legal team recently filed a motion claiming that key evidence against him is completely false. That move could reshape the case and possibly clear his name. Let's break down Durk's current charges. In the world of rap, few names are as closely tied to Chicago's street life as Lil Durk. He's known for raw emotional lyrics that paint a gritty picture of his reality. Over time, he's become a respected artist and to some, a symbol of survival and resilience. But behind the music lies a deep tangle of legal issues that has now pulled him into a major federal investigation. The latest indictment against Durk Derek Banks, aka Lil Durk, reveals a world far from the recording booth, a world filled with gang alliances, revenge plots, and betrayal. It all traces back to 2020 when a public feud broke out between Durk's OTF crew and a rival group. That beef intensified after the death of Devin Bennett, better known as King Von Durk's close friend and a rising star in OTF Von's death, followed by rumors linking it to rival rapper Quando Rondo, which only made things worse. According to prosecutors, the tension boiled over. They claim Durk wanted to take out Quando Rondo at all costs. Informants and witnesses reportedly told investigators that Durk put a bounty on Quando's head, determined to end the feud for good. That alleged hit order led to a deadly scene at a Los Angeles gas station and kicked off the federal investigation that Durk is now at the center of. On August 19, 2022, violence erupted at a gas station near the Beverly Center in LA. Surveillance footage, police reports, and witness statements all paint a chilling picture. Three masked shooters opened fire on a black Cadillac Escalade carrying Quando Rondo and his family. Quando survived. His cousin Savoya, Lul Pob Robinson, identified as SR in court documents, was killed in the shooting. Police found 18 shell casings at the scene, showing just how brutal the ambush was. The brutal nature of the attack at the gas station made it clear this wasn't just random gang violence. As the investigation unfolded, Durk's name quickly became central to the case. Law enforcement found signs of careful planning that pointed back to Durk and his circle. Financial records suggested the hit was part of a coordinated plot allegedly funded by Durk's organization. Investigators discovered that on August 18, 2022, just one day before the shooting, several key OTF members flew out to California. These individuals, identified in legal documents as co-conspirator 2 and co-conspirator 3, had their flights paid for with an American Express card linked to Durk, and OTF text messages also surfaced. In one message, Durk allegedly warned co-conspirator 3, "Don't book no flights under no names involved with sick me." Warning clearly meant to avoid leaving a paper trail. Surveillance cameras later caught 2 white vehicles, a BMW and an Infiniti tailing Quando Rondos, escalate across Los Angeles. These cars were traced back to the same men who flew in from Chicago, Durk's alleged co-conspirators. Authorities believe they were sent to carry out the hit. After the public gas station shooting, federal and local law enforcement stepped up their efforts. On October 24, 2024, 5 men with ties to OTF and Chicago gangs were arrested. These men, Kevin Grant, DeAndre, Dantrell, Wilson, Keith Jones, David Lindsay, and Asa Houston, were all charged with conspiracy to commit murder for hire. As the FBI closed in, they discovered Durk had tried to flee. According to U.S. Customs and Border Protection, CBP, Durk booked 3 separate international flights within hours of his associates' arrests. Destinations: by Switzerland and Italy, countries where extradition would be more complicated. But before he could board any of the flights, the FBI arrested him, locking him down and sealing his fate. This case has now shined a harsh spotlight on OTF, not just as a rap crew, but as what law enforcement describes as a criminal enterprise. The indictment claims OTF isn't just a music group, structured organization involved in violent crimes like assault and murder. Prosecutors say OTF members are expected to follow Durk's orders, and violence is allegedly used to keep control and status within the group court. Documents highlight that co-conspirator 3, a known OTF member, played a big role in planning the hit. He allegedly handled everything from travel and lodging to equipment and rental car, processing money tied to Durk through American Express accounts. Records also placed Durk in California at the time, staying in a rental home in Encino, with several OTF members tightening the FBI's case. He was closely connected to the operation. But even as the case grew stronger, a shocking twist emerged, a rumor of betrayal from someone close to Durk. This insider had allegedly been part of Durk's inner circle for years, but at the same time was secretly feeding information to federal agents. In the world of rap, loyalty is everything, or at least that's the image. But now it looks like someone close to Durk may have flipped, creating even more problems for his defense. The world around Lil Durk has been flipped upside down, not by outsiders, but by betrayal from inside his own crew, only the family, OTF. What started as rumors has now become a grim reality. Someone Durk trusted has allegedly been feeding the feds information, helping build the case that led to his murder-for-hire indictment. If you go back and really listen to Durk's lyrics, the signs were always there. Tracks like Pellicoat and Risky are full of coded messages about loyalty, betrayal, and danger lurking in his circle. At the time, fans may have seen them as just street tales, but now those bars hit different. It seems like Durk felt the betrayal coming but couldn't predict just how close it would strike. Even 50 Cent picked up on the energy. During a recent interview on The Breakfast Club, he revealed that he had warned Durk when things started getting heated. Just watch your crew. The two had previously worked together on Power Powder, Respect the Theme for Power, Book 4, Forsaya series based in Chicago. During their collab, 50 said something felt off about Durk's camp. "I was like, yo, this is them, just watch them," he said, describing a gut instinct from someone who's seen how entourages can turn deadly. According to 50, Durk responded with concern, saying, "Somebody just came in my house. How do they even know my address? I don't know my address, nobody does." That paranoia turned into reality when Durk's home in Brazelton, Georgia was broken into back in 2021. He and India Royale were inside at the time, but escaped unharmed. Still, the fact that people had access to his location deeply shook him. 50 summed it up with a pointed observation. "If you got pulled over and you're not in jail, why are you not in jail?" It was a subtle warning that someone close might be playing both sides, and now all eyes are on one man, Jam, a longtime OTF member who reportedly spent over a decade in prison for attempted murder, a bid that once signaled loyalty. But since his release in 2022, rumors have swirled that Jam flipped, that he's been wearing a wire and cooperating with federal agents. According to Chicago rapper King Yella, Jam not only snitched, he provided direct evidence linking Durk to a murder-for-hire plot targeting Quando Rondo, whose real name is Tyquan Bowman. Even more shocking, Jam allegedly tied Durk to the killing of Rondo's cousin Lou Pab, a hit believed to be revenge for King Von's death. This betrayal wasn't just legal, it was personal. DJ Academics and Chicago-based reporter Trench's News broke down more details in a video that added fuel to the fire. According to them, Jam's baby mama had reached out to Durk asking for help with legal bills, specifically a lawyer. But when Durk allegedly ignored the request, Jam took it as a slap in the face. "You're not supposed to brush off my call when I need something," Jam reportedly said, feeling like Durk broke the code of loyalty. Trench's news backed story saying, "That's facts," implying that this personal slight may have been the final straw that pushed Jam to flip even Whack 100. A well-known voice in the music industry weighed in calling Jam's shift from street soldier to federal informant one of the most shocking turnarounds in recent rap history. Whack 100 remembered a different version of Jama Man, once seen as a solid street soldier, someone who did 12 years without saying a word. That loyalty earned him real respect in the streets. He got out, did interviews, said he kept it real. Durk gave him cars, gave him 50K. People said, "Ain't no smudge on his name. He ain't never been a rat." That was the image. But eventually Jam flipped. He didn't just talk, he gave the feds a playbook, according to the indictment Jam provided. Detailed info about how Durk and OTF allegedly used coded messages to orchestrate the murder-for-hire plot. One text from Durk to co-conspirator 3 warned, "Don't book no flights under no names involved with Sick Me." Clear attempt to keep things low profile. But the indictment says otherwise. Prosecutors claim flights, hotels, and rentals were all paid for using F's credit cards, often under aliases. Surveillance footage showed OTF affiliates tailing Quando Rondo's car in Los Angeles before the hit that killed Lou, Pab, and Jam. He documented it all allegedly while wearing a wire. He gave the feds everything. What cars were rented, which flights were taken, what conversations happened, how the money moved. Jam's betrayal wasn't just personal, it was surgical. DJ Jerry Jam, who once rode with OTF, opened up about their shared history. He recalled how Durk's music kept Jam grounded during his 12-year bid. "I remember Durk was making rap songs for our parties," he said. "That was bro before the fame, before the money. He made a way for me to be straight. Bond ran deep. But in the end, loyalty broke down. Whether it was feeling disrespected or being denied help when he needed it, Jam made his choice. And that choice delivered one of the biggest betrayals in rap history. Now, beyond the heartbreak of losing a brother, Lil Durk faces a much bigger fight, his future. Since his arrest, the internet has exploded with speculation, especially on TikTok. One user, an indecisive Quan, posted a viral meme that lit up the platform. "Why be in jail? Thug in jail. Durk getting the electric chair, who we supposed to listen to now?" Let's clear it up right now. Lil Durk is not facing the electric chair. Those are just wild internet rumors fueled by memes and misinformation. Despite all the TikTok talk and wild rumors, there's no official word or court ruling suggesting Lil Durk is facing the death penalty. Let's get the facts straight. California hasn't used the electric chair in years. In 2006, federal courts ruled against capital punishment. In 2019, Governor Gavin Newsom placed a full moratorium on the death penalty. So no, Durk is not facing execution no matter what's going viral online. Still, the consequences of his arrest have been very real. Just 1 week before the news broke, the village of Broadview, Illinois gave Durk an honorary key to the city, recognizing his contributions through the Neighborhood Heroes Foundation. But once his charges became public, the honor was immediately revoked. Broadview's Mayor Katrina Thompson didn't sugarcoat. While the American system of justice grants everyone the presumption of innocence in the village of Broadview, the court of public opinion has even higher moral and ethical standards. To protect the village's reputation, they cut ties with both Durk and his foundation. That's a major blow to the positive image Durk's been working hard to build. His Neighborhood Heroes Foundation has been central to his rebranding effort to show he's more than just a rapper from the street. He's pushed for financial literacy, youth outreach, and community change. But now, with murder-for-hire charges looming, that reputation is hanging by a thread. The fallout doesn't stop there. Durk's also been making moves in Chicago's political scene, even donated $15,000 to Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson's political committee. After his arrest, critics started asking, did the mayor give the money back? Asked directly, Mayor Johnson didn't fold. "You're asking me to make a judgment on a black man before a full trial has actually come to fruition. I hope you understand why that's not mine to make." Johnson's response points to a bigger issue: the tension between hip-hop politics and public perception. Lil Durk has spent years balancing two identities: the street-raised rapper with credibility and edge, and the community figure building bridges with politicians, nonprofits, and corporate sponsors. 2023, his Grammy-winning hit, All My Life, captured that shift perfectly. He rapped about changing his image, stepping up, and leaving behind the violence. He's collaborated with names like Bank of America, launched youth programs, and tried to use his platform to uplift Chicago. But now all of that is at risk. Serious federal charges hanging over his head. Durk's future depends on one thing: whether he can beat this case. If he can't, the image he's spent years rebuilding might collapse, and the connections he's forged could disappear just as fast. For more stories like this, click the videos on your screen now.